to my Fine Divine Collective. You've come into a new confidence. You've reached an undeniable confidence level based from where you've come from to who you've become. And my name is Dominica Divinely, God's favorite light worker, the golden healer, the messenger, and your down-to-earth high priest. So you just keep coming with it, huh? You have shown up for yourself when you had no one else but you. You've glowed up through the processes of learning, acting, believing, and transforming. You've been through a lot, and maybe you've never had the support, the love, the help, or the right people around you. You've dealt with more hate and opinion than more love and acceptance. No understanding from others. You've dealt with a lot of holdbacks and a lot of depression. So the odds were definitely against you more than not before you turned over. And the more you grew up, the more you glue up. The more you awaken, the more you feel better about who you are from the truth, opposed to the destruction and the blindness of a lie from what the world and opposing forces wanted you to believe about yourself and who you are. Throughout your transformative processes, you have elevated more and more. Each level took time, healing, and or understanding. And I don't mean that lightly. I mean literally. Your higher source, your God, literally keeps you. Your God provides for you, your God protects you, your God reveals the wisdom of the world to you, and your God stands with you. And I don't mean it the same way a lot of people mean it for themselves, or the same way that a lot of people believe it for themselves. I mean it literally. I mean it like as far as to the extent of where there's no way around it. As far as there's no doubt. A lot of people really are not as sure as much as they say it. They're just so used to just claiming it without even knowing and living up to exactly what it takes to actually be just as protected, as taken care of, and as knowing as you are. Not saying that they don't know anything and they're not protected, they're just not as much as you are because of who you are. It's not a matter of who's better than anyone or a matter of who's greater. It's just a matter of who you have allowed yourself to be, who you were selected to be, and what you have become willingly, without all of the excuses and all of the fear that most people in the world have, including those who claim that God has favored them the way that God has favored you. Even those with all the riches in the world and even those with all the love in the world still cannot amount to the love, the glory, the favoritism, and how God provides and tells you his deepest secrets, okay? Because heavy on the providing and the protection, because you don't need to lift a finger to be okay and taken care of. Heavy on everything because your God has made it very clear to you exactly who you are, regardless if they want to see it or believe it or not. It doesn't matter at this point because at some point they'll really have no choice but to see it, whether they'll like it or not. Whether they want to accept it or not, what they believe can never change the fact of who you really are. So this new level of confidence that you have was earned, and nobody really knows what it took for you to get to this point. This level of love, admiration, and acceptance that you finally have for yourself, because it hasn't always been like that for you. People just don't know because people only see what they want to see, believe what they want to believe, and they don't know the history behind anything. They just assume, opinionate, and are negative. Although it may bother some people who watch how you glow up and promote yourself, those people who can't accept how you come is because all this you from God may also come with a beautiful face or a handsome face. You may be really easy on the eyes, as well as knowledgeable and secure with self, and you're outstanding. You stand outside of the box. You stand aside of others. And aside of those who are already threatened by your light, they're automatically going to hate anyway. But there are also those people who actually lack security and self-confidence within themselves. And if they see you do it, you could possibly trigger that, and that could cause them to jump on the hate bandwagon, or that could just cause them to not feel so good about themselves, which may also cause them to not feel so good about you because your beautiful self, your confident self is the deliverer. So when these people see you loving and celebrating on yourself, it only looks like bragging to those who have not seen their own full worth yet. And that has absolutely nothing to do with you. So keep loving on yourself, keep encouraging yourself, and keep showing it. Just let those who get triggered by your position and your confidence or your looks get triggered, okay? Maybe they needed to bother them until they realize that you're not the problem. Their own heart and their own insecurities are the problem. It's just as usual, you plant the seed without even knowing. And this is just for confirmational purposes only. Y'all be knowing.